I hate how it seemed like people immediately jumped to Hassan's defense with a shot call incident just because he's typically on our side of political spectrum. You can agree with political beliefs and disagree with his grifter haters while also thinking critically about it if he really shot the dog or not, instead of immediately jumping to his defense. I thought this is such a late throw in this whole Kaya collar gate thing. But the reason why people were jumping to his defense is because it was fucking astroturfed by Ethan Klein and like XQC and those guys. Like, that's why. And people who watch his streams, now people think I watch his streams. I really don't. I see like his highlight a couple of streams because I'm employed. I'm not trying to make like a joke, but like I literally work 6 days a week. I don't really have time to sit in front and watch someone else stream for hours. I'm busy at work. When I have downtime at work, I'll like read something, but like I'm not like when I have downtime at work, I read books or I read manga. Like I recently purchased, this is not sponsored by the way, I purchased volume 5 of Apple Black. I really like this series. I picked up at Barnes & Nobles. I immediately fell in love and I bought the other volumes. These are the current volume out right now. But I watch from time to time. I obviously know who Hassan is though, right? But yeah, people defended it because it's insane. Like that dog's been growing up on stream for fucking years and now suddenly he wants to abuse it. Everyone who's ever come to contact with that dog said he wasn't abusive. Ethan Klein never had a problem with him and Kai, and now suddenly the Ethan Klein's not on good terms with Hassan. Now it's pushing this shit. Like it's too vindictive and too obvious. Oh, Jesus Christ, dude. Okay, I'm not gonna read all of this. You guys are seeing on the screen. That's oof. I'm gonna read the TLDR. Okay, I'm gonna read the TLDR because someone put a thesis in here. I'm a sick freak who loves Bywater and I need to vent about new casual fans. Not because I'm a gatekeeper, but because these arguments about approachable entries in a given genre being better or worse is so time when I just want to talk about games on their own merits and introduce new people to how and why old games are good. It took a long time to write, and since it's not entirely public, I'm not gonna overly editorialize myself. So if this is rambly, I just wanted to write this out properly for once. Like a first draft or video essay I'm never gonna make, so thank you for the vent space. Oh, okay. Oof. I hate to break it to you, but this is kind of public. I'm doing this for a video, which I did state. But I think the whole point here was just having entries, having, as they put it, approachable entries in given genres. We can extrapolate on that, right? I think if you are playing the second or third game of a series, then no, you don't get to complain about it being too difficult or too this or too that, right? If it's like, oh, it's too much sexual stuff, well, that's what the first 3 games were like. Or, oh, it's too difficult. That was the first 3 games, right? I do agree on that. But if we could take it just out of that specific example and go to a more general one, I do think it's also dumb to get mad at people for wanting or for developers for putting easier modes in games. And here's my stance on that, okay? Let's say you were like skiing or you were snowboarding, you're on the mountain, right? And you have like the beginners fucking routes, and you have intermediate and then advanced. Just because you're an advanced person, that doesn't mean intermediate and beginners should just not exist, right? Like people come at different skill levels, and some people just want to go down the hill, man. Some people want to go down the hill, maybe it's a little bit trying. Other people want to die trying to go down the hill. And that's fine, I guess. But like different strokes for different folks. I am one of those people though where I'm like, I don't see the problem in putting in an hard mode or an easy mode in a game when you ultimately get to choose. Like you mentioned Dark Souls 2 in here. So or just talk about Dark Souls, the genre for a second, the series, to be more specific. I understand creative intent. You guys might not think this about me, but I do understand how creatives think for the most part. I understand what it's like to want to put your stuff out there and have it interpreted a certain way and experienced a certain way. I get that. I understand it. But In video games, I think ultimately you want your players to complete the game. I think Elden Ring had the highest completion rate of any From Souls type of game, any Soulsborne game, like from Software specifically, because you could essentially make the game as easy or as hard as you wanted to, right? You could use mimic tiers, you could team up with people. There were ways to fucking cheese it. You could use so many like broken magics and builds and whatever, right? Lots of build variety. Most games with build variety, there's always going to be a build where you can become a fucking nuke, and that's usually what happens, right? And that wasn't that present in the other Souls games. That doesn't make Elden Ring like a worser game, right? Just like I did a video talking about, like, I don't think having a pause button in Elden Ring makes the game easier, but it's more convenient for others. Like, that's where I'm at. Like, in this specific instance, talking about coming into a series, yes. Unless it's like one of those like mid-series reboots where it's like, hey, this series has been going on for 7-8 years. We're trying something different. Here's a new entry point. You can come in here. You don't have to know all the fucking lore. We strip down the combat. We want you to be brain broken just playing this game. And if they want to do it, that's fine. But yeah, ultimately, I think though, if it is an established series and this is number 2 and number 1, you know, if you died, your save was deleted. So that's happening in number 2. You can't complain because that was the series built on that. Like I do agree with that. I love video games so much, but it's so hard to interact with others who do. A long time ago, I made the mistake of telling Super Smash Bros. Players, oh no, oh, I already know where this is going. I didn't read the rest of the lines. I know where this is going. You like playing multiplayer with the items on. Listen. Never do that. Never tell these people you like to have fun in Super Smash Brothers. They will be so mad. You told them you like to put Smash Balls and Pokeballs on, and they called you a slur. I know they did. They in turn berated me saying I'm not playing the game correctly. Pretty much since then, I've been so afraid to talk to anyone other than my immediate family, husband / brother, about video games. I hate how everything is so fucking gatekept. I don't attack others for how they play games, so why does everyone do it to me? I will tell you this. I'm going to answer, I guess, paragraph by paragraph. I will tell you this. I would tell you why. Insecure. And God, this is like really somehow tying back to what I was just talking about. I really noticed this when Dark Souls came out. There has been the get good marketing ploy has had such catastrophic fucking effects that I truly do think whoever did that from Namco Bandai needs to be executed, because now there's this whole gamer identity of, if you don't play games at the hardest level, the most difficult way, it doesn't count. I remember when people were watching Kai Cenat play Elden Ring, and they were like, oh wow, he didn't use mimic tears or spirit ashes. He has my respect. And then I've seen those same people disrespect people who use the mechanics in the game that the fucking producer was like, yeah, we put that in the game for you to use it. Because no, you got to do no armor. You have to have like, so basically zero load. You have to be fucking, I guess Elden Ring doesn't have depraved. Like, you have to be depraved, which means naked, no fucking weapons. You have to use a stick, and you can't fight the first 3 bosses. You have to glitch and go straight to the Elden. It's like that. Those are the people who are like, they're so fucking try hard, but they're insecure people. This is all they have. They have to have this. They have to be the people who are like, I only play these games blindfolded with 2 arms tied behind my back, like other people's arms also tied behind my back, and I'm put into a vat of acid. And that's the only way I can get any sort of feelings when I play games. So you're doing it wrong. They love Eastern games, not like the grifters do. But just because they appeal to me so much more. But I'm afraid people will lose on me if I say I play the game in English. It's not that I think English is a superior language or that the original is bad or anything. It's just, I speak English, thus it's easier for me to connect with characters and the performances more. I also love meeting the voices at cons. They're such nice people. I know not all performances are great, but I chalked it up to bad directing rather than acting themselves. When I mentioned going to a con at work, work lunch once, and one of our coworkers joked, "LOL, are you going to kill all the voice actors for their terrible performances?" And that just made me never want to go to lunch with them again. I felt awful. Okay, you were running into the worst fucking people, but I'm gonna go on a tangent here, but still relevant. I fucking hate the sub versus dub argument. I have always hated it. I am recently 36 years old, okay? I have been hearing this for 3 decades. It is the dumbest argument ever. People are holding on to dubs that were done by fucking Deke in 1993. And like, this English dubs are terrible. You speak English. You're watching these performances. Oh, but the Japanese, yeah, in English subtitles. Oh, but the performance, motherfucker, you can't tell the difference between a Kansai dialect and a Tokyo dialect. Shut the fuck up. You don't know the differences here. It's just because it's in a different language and it's native language, you think it sounds cooler. Like, that's why I hate people going, oh, well, they're just overreacting. They're overacting in fucking Japanese too. You think it's normal people to go like, Sasuke? You think that's how people say people's names? You think when they talk, they go, oi, 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 nani tendayo? Like, you think they're not putting on a voice? You think they're not voice acting? Like, it's so annoying. We have so many amazing English dubs. We have so many amazing voice actors. Just right off the top of the dome, right? If you're watching Gachakuda, you're missing out to me if you're not also watching in English. Listening to Zeno Robinson's jabber is fucking amazing.
There's Loopy Glue, Toxin, at the Nero, Toxin. Mix it with a bit of the hallucinogen, let it sink in, now we tweaking.
I love Engin's voice, like Simu's voice, like they're Gabe Kunda as Corvo, like they are putting in such stellar work. We've been getting fucking spoiled with good voice acting. The My Hero Academia did was fucking good, right? I would say fuck it, One Piece dub is good too. It took a while to get there because of 4 kids and then all that other shit, but like, it's good. We have so many good dubs. They're basically neck and neck. Sure, it's a preference, but to be like, oh, English sucks. Bitch, you speak English. Shut your weeb ass up. Like, oh man. And to be like, you want to kill them for terrible performances? These people, and I would tell you straight, the people who say shit like this have no concept of acting whatsoever. They think, have you ever seen those like TikTok videos where it's like real acting versus like stage acting or CW acting? They think if someone's angry, they gotta be like, oh, so mad. And they don't understand like quiet anger. Where you're just like, right at the surface, you know? Like it's there's something building in your voice. Like you're almost about to scream, but you're never there. And I'm like, this person's emotionless. Look at this one scene where they're crying. How come I can't feel them crying? And it's like, because they're not really crying. I mean, their character's not really crying. Like the character's faking it and they get caught out being fake. Like you mentioned here too, directing plays a huge role in there. There are Oscar award-winning actors who have put in dog shit performances because the director could not inspire them, could not get what they needed out of them. I'm sorry I went on this tangent, but you should not feel awful. They should feel awful because they're fucking losers. Everyone says not to be afraid to be yourself, but I just feel like myself is wrong. When I enjoy something, there is almost always someone there to tell me why I'm objectively wrong for doing so. I do have an amazing husband who loves games, so it's not bad, but I really have no other friends than him. I would like to have someone to talk to, but I'm just so afraid to say anything. Why is the nerd spirit so hostile, especially to women? I'm cishet female. Oh, I can fucking woof. Lady. You want to know why the nerd space is so hostile? Fragility. That's what it is. It's fragility. It is this mindset that everyone else who enjoys their hobby is just now enjoying it, because when they were getting shoved into fucking lockers when they were, I don't know, 11 years old, 12 years old, the people who look different than them didn't help them or were laughing at them. It's no different when people are like, I hate black women because when I was 11 years old, this black girl said my skin looked like milk, like spoiled milk. Like, and they don't factor in the fact that kids are mean. They go specifically black people, specifically Mexicans, specifically Asians, right? And then they grow up with that. That's the same mentality a lot of these gamers fucking have. Also, I have a video, again, self-plug, well, it's my own channel, whatever, talking about gamers being fucking babies. Because they are. They're fucking babies. No lie, no bullshit. I put that on everything in my life. I had a friend who worked at GameStop, so I'd visit him a lot. This when I was doing security. This is back in like not even 20s, 2000s, like 2009 and no, 2011, I was in security. And there are people who go in there, and when the girls would go in there, the conversations would change. And also the conversations would change when they saw black people go in there, and they would assume they were buying Madden. When they bought like Mass Effect, they were surprised. Like there was a lot of misogyny and racism and just bigotry in the nerd spaces, but people believe because nerds are supposed to be like the outcast, it's supposed to be more accepting. That is not the case. Not the case at fucking all. In fact, I have dealt with higher levels of bigotry in the nerd space than I have in like just like real life. But that's why. And you being a woman, you are the object of their desire when they're growing up. But because they thought you didn't like them because they Naruto ran, and you didn't like them because they had holes in their socks. They never put those two together. So they're like, oh, now you guys like it because it's popular? So you're gonna get quizzed. You like anime? Name 3 animators, and they have to be fucking Neon Genesis Evangelion, right? You know what I mean? Like Evangelion. They can't be there. You like Akira so much? Name 4 animation supervisors from the movie. You like video games so much? Name 3 programmers who worked on the original Famicom system. Oh, you know what Famicom is? Oh, okay, because you're English. And I like my fucking machines not dubbed. So I call my Nintendo the Famicom. I am so sorry. I've been recording all day. I am losing my mind. And yeah, those fucking grifters out there are not making it easy for any of us. But seriously, I appreciate your content on taking them down. I actually love it. Very cathartic for me. I kind of wish you would upload more, LOL, but I get it. You have a life. I wish I could catch your streams more, but they're kind of late for me in Central Time. Oh, I'm so sorry. Central Time doesn't exist to me. That's the problem. This doesn't exist. I'm either Pacific Standard Time. That's it. Figure it out. No, I'm kidding. But you're right. I do have a life. So yeah, I don't upload as much. I wish I could. Anyway, thanks for listening. Not sure if you're readers or not. I read it. But I appreciate either way. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and Happy New Year to you. Thank you. Thank you so much. What do you want to get off your chest? People calling everything woke. Now, you guys, I have done a bunch of videos on this, so I won't spend too much time on this question. But that shit is annoying, 100%. It is 100% annoying. It is the most reductive statement you can make about a piece of media. I don't like the fact that these people are aware of social injustices. It makes me challenge my own belief systems, and I don't like being, introspective. So we're just going to call it woke. But what they really want to say is, I don't like black people. But I can't say that yet, even though in this country you definitely can. I don't like gay people. I don't like the queers. A little too gay over here. Oh, but I can just say it's woke. And people can just, oh, yeah, then it's woke. Black person in the movie, woke. A gay person breathing, woke. Women, the wokest. A woman with non-typical hair, oh my God, she's so woke. She looks like she would have piercings and drink Starbucks coffee straight from Seattle. Because my idea of someone woke is a 2011 rad Tumblr femme caricature. People who call everything woke are annoying and have no fucking original bone in their body. They have to once again co-opt words from other people, especially black culture, right? and then twist it. Just lames. Too much gaming discourse revolves around what people are saying on Twitter. Twitter strip does not matter to most normal brain people and generally isn't worth engaging in. I understand it's basically infinite content though. You are correct. I like being honest with you guys. It is infinite content, but it also does give a peek into the mind of the terminally online people who will consistently make videos like that, like, oh, this person got owned, this person got destroyed, and then use that to extrapolate some bigger point about like, this is why we hate woke people, right? Look, wokeness is dead because Elon. And listen, I'm one of them. I know I'm one of the people who use Twitter, but I'd like to think that I at least use it in a way to highlight like, yeah, this is the shit that we're combating. Like, we want to take this back because Twitter, I know it may not seem like it because it's been like a crazy 2 years. Twitter was not like this past. Like, now that this shit was not magnified, it was not blown up. You had to really dig for takes like that. And you could, in 140 characters, have some measure of discourse on games on Twitter and not it devolved to literal clan rallies happening in your mentions. So like, but I agree. And I've stated this before. When I talk about shit online, I know full well that this is not the majority of gamers. I'm not talking about them though. I'm talking about the people who online because they go on harassment campaigns and dox people and send death threats and all those things. And they think it's okay because they think that their opinions, they think that their worldview is justified because it's being reinforced by people who we've mentioned in this video, right? And I want to show them that no, even in this space, you are in such a bubble that if you were to literally go to a different website, you would get destroyed, which is why you specifically stay on Twitter and only go to grifters, because those are the only people reaffirming your worldviews. Everyone else is like, this game looks sick, and you're mad that Erica Ishii is eating popcorn at the Game Awards. And I want to really let that be known that like, that is the disconnect we're working on. So, but yes, you're right. Twitter is infinite content because people are always mad. People are mad about Stranger Things right now because of shit that they spoon fed you. And they're still like, what? I saw someone saying like, we still don't know why Will was taken. I'm like, fucking Vecna picks him up literally, uses him as a vehicle to talk to the audience and says, do you want to know why I chose you? And people are still just like, we never said why, because people are dumb now and just want to be angry. So Twitter is like a great, almost like social experiment to see like, damn, what happens when just the dumbest, angriest people are just allowed to run free? I mean, it's not good. All right, this is the last one. So let's see how we're finishing off. This should have been on the hot takes video for my stream because this is good for a hot take. Not bad for, I'm gonna shut up. I'm gonna read this. So many nerds say they want their fiction to avoid being safe and sanitized, but will actively criticize it when it actually delivers. For example, you can say a lot of bad things about the Unalive Squad game. Oh, Suicide Squad. I'm gonna say it. This isn't TikTok. Suicide Squad game, but you cannot call the way they handle Batman as safe. Same for how Joel died in Last of Us. There is no more safe and sanitized than a proper send-off. Listen, let me tell you the truth. When you see these nerds say they want their fiction to avoid being safe and sanitized, what they mean is they want people to say slurs, they want people to be assaulted, and they want violence. But they only want that happening to certain people in groups. They don't want anyone who they could reflect themselves into experience that. Like Joel getting the most personal golf tutoring in the history of the world made people irate. But because it was him getting killed off. Same thing with Batman, right? And you're 100% correct. That was not safe. That was creative liberty. Whether you liked it or not, that was creative. That was people being the most unsafe you could be. Granted, we know later on they were planning on bringing it back because they're all fake clones, yada, yada, yada. But still, they don't like that. Nerds don't like change. Like they really don't. They do not like change. And if you think I'm lying, look at any fucking comic book run and then tell me. Besides currently like the absolute universe, because it's a separate universe, they don't like change. They want Batman to always be Bruce Wayne. They want Superman to always be with Lois. They want Peter Parker to fucking always be a loser. They don't want him to ever fucking grow. Though I do believe that's a little bit more on Marvel editorial staff than the nerds. I'll give you guys that. But there's a reason why American comics are static, right? And then most mangas are dynamic. They allow the characters to change and grow because the stories can end eventually. Nerds grew up with comic books for the longest time. So they're used to stories never ending. But even like any nerd space and anime stuff, right? Like they don't want characters to be done. Okay, like I don't want to talk about spoilers. It's a really good example, but I'm not going to do it. But just know, people weren't that happy when a certain sorcerer has a certain thing happen, okay, in a certain show. But to be less cryptic, I guess, and something different, people don't like the fact that like Boruto exists, right? And I know, get your jokes off, right? But like a lot of the critiques I've seen is, oh, they've made Sasuke and Naruto so weak. They've nerfed them. They've done this, they've done that. I'm like, this show's not about them, it's about the kids. So of course they're gonna nerf them. Their story's done already. Like, they're not making them like weak by any means. These people are the fucking nukes of the new world. They have to be nerfed so the story can progress. But these people are mad that like Naruto isn't one-shotting everybody because they don't want character progression. They don't want different characters to progress. They don't want characters to have to take a step back. They don't want characters to change. They're like, if you're strong in chapter 1, I want you strong in chapter 1000. I don't want your character changed at fucking all. Nerds are allergic. They're allergic. Ghost of Yote changing protagonists in a series that you weren't even promised a sequel, nor promised a extended continuation of that previous character. Even though the DLC kind of made it so they couldn't continue that character, they were still mad that, what do you mean my favorite guy ever, Jin Sakai, which be so fucking for real. My favorite guy ever, Jin Sakai, is no longer the main character. We've had so many games to get to know him, all one of them. And it's like, yeah, dude, like nerds are very allergic to change. So no, they don't want shit to be like that. They don't want characters to get killed or anything like that. What they want, when they say avoid being safe and sanitized, they want bouncing titties. They want the sex scenes with the big bouncing titty girls. That's what they mean. They mean a very juvenile level of unsafe, like literally NSFW type shit. They don't mean unsafe in terms of like your favorite character doesn't have plot armor. They don't want that because it's comfort. And again, they're babies. They can't handle stories that aren't catered specifically toward them and their whims, right? They have to be the strong guy in every single movie or every single TV show and every single game. So when that doesn't happen, they get mad. You get oh my God, they butchered Batman's legacy when Kevin Conroy was excited to do that. Because he's a creative. He's been playing a particular version of Batman for decades. He was happy to play a Batman that gets to cut loose. He was also happy to play that Batman in the short-lived Batgirl series, where he was like an evil Batman, kind of speaking. But like actors love that shit because it's a creative change. You get to now take a character you're familiar with and put him in a different light. But for like nerds, no. They don't like that. That's why Batman has to eventually always be Bruce Wayne. He has to be single. Even if he has kids in the future, they're like, oh, whatever. He's going to be single forever. That's why Spider-Man, even though he was married for decades, like, nope, he has to go back to not being married because things cannot progress. Things must be frozen, arrested development. Like that's it. That's why they don't like it. Oh man, this was a fun thing to do at the end of the year. Maybe we should make this like a yearly thing where end of the year, I'll give you guys more time to respond, but end of the year, we do a whole get this shit off your chest. For those of you who stayed to the end of this video, thank you so much. My retention is never that great, either from myself or YouTube. So if you made the end of the video, I wanted to say thank you guys so much, especially for this year. You guys have really made this year really fucking awesome, to be completely honest. Like I'm really happy that I decided to do YouTube for real this time. Even though I've had this channel since 2016 and I used to upload on and off. I'm glad that I made more of a concerted effort to upload more videos because you guys seem to be liking it, and it's fun. It's really fun. I will see you guys though in the next year, in the new year. We'll be doing new things, maybe, time permitting. If I win the lotto, then yeah, we can do lots of new things. But I'll still be here. I'll still be trying to put out the same kind of content, refine it a little bit. I feel like I've gotten away a lot from what I used to do, and I still want to do some like reaction videos. I do like doing reacts. They're to be honest, they're easy to do, but it's also kind of fun. But I also want to do more videos like I did about the white supremacy one, and even more like the horses. Though I have to work on that because when I script shit, I sound so robotic. I'm just like, huh, wow. And I'm not really myself, so I get that. But for everything else, I will try to do it better. That's my promise to you. I will try to be better.